In Islamic teachings, tests and trials are often seen as a way for Allah's SWT to purify, strengthen, and elevate a believer's rank. These trials can take various forms, and surviving or enduring them with patience, faith, and trust in Allah is seen as a hallmark of the strong believer. The 7 hardest tests can be interpreted in light of Islamic values and examples from the Quran and Hadith. Here's a reflection on such tests that could align with this idea. Losing someone close, such as a parent, spouse, or child, is one of the most challenging emotional tests. The story of Prophet Yaqub's grieving for Yusuf is a profound example of patience, sabr in such circumstances. Both poverty and wealth are tests. Poverty tests gratitude and patience, while wealth tests whether one will be generous and avoid arrogance. The Quran repeatedly mentions the dangers of being consumed by materialism. Physical suffering is a significant test of patience. The story of Prophet Ayyub, who endured severe illness while maintaining his faith, is a reminder of steadfastness during hardship. Fear for safety, stability, or the unknown is a test of reliance on Allah tawakkul. For instance, the trials faced by the Prophet Muhammad PBUH and his companions during persecution in Mecca exemplify this. Resisting unlawful temptations, such as illicit relationships or dishonesty, is a test of self-control and adherence to Allah's commandments. Prophet Yusuf, as resisting the seduction of Zuleika, is a powerful example. Facing enemies, oppression, or injustice with patience and forgiveness is one of the hardest trials. The Prophet Muhammad PBUH exemplified this when he forgave the people of Mecca after the conquest. A crisis of faith or moments of doubt about Allah's wisdom, especially during prolonged hardship, is a test of spiritual strength. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:286 reminds believers that Allah does not burden the soul beyond its capacity. Sabr, patience, remaining steadfast and patient, is highly emphasized in the Quran and Hadith. Tawakkul, trust in Allah, believing in Allah's wisdom and mercy even when things seem difficult. Shukr, gratitude, being thankful in all circumstances, recognizing that every trial has a purpose. Dua, supplication, constantly turning to Allah for guidance, strength, and relief. These tests are a reminder that this worldly life is temporary and that ultimate success lies in the hereafter for those who endure trials with faith. Losing someone dear is one of the greatest emotional trials. In such moments, believers are called to exercise patience, sabr, and trust in Allah's divine plan. Prophet Yaqub has endured the pain of separation from his beloved son, Yusuf, for years. Despite his sorrow, he remained steadfast in his faith, saying, "Patience is most fitting, and Allah is the one sought for help against that which you describe." Quran 12:18. Trust that Allah's wisdom is greater, and those who persevere will be rewarded in the hereafter. Both extreme poverty and great wealth are tests, though in opposite ways. Poverty challenges a person's patience and trust in Allah while resisting despair. Wealth tests gratitude, generosity, and the ability to avoid arrogance and misuse of blessings. Example: Korah in the Quran was given immense wealth but failed the test by becoming arrogant, leading to his destruction. Quran 28:76-81. Whether in hardship or abundance, remain grateful and use resources to earn Allah's pleasure. Health is one of the greatest blessings, and illness tests gratitude and patience. Prophet Ayyub has faced severe illness for years, yet he remained grateful and supplicated to Allah humbly. "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Quran 21:83. Trials of health remind us of the temporary nature of this life and the importance of depending on Allah during hardships. Fear of harm, loss of safety, or instability can deeply challenge faith. During the Battle of Ahzab, the companions of the Prophet Muhammad PBUH faced overwhelming fear as they were surrounded by enemies. Yet they strengthened their reliance on Allah. "Sufficient for us is Allah, and He is the best disposer of affairs." Quran 3:173. Faith in Allah provides true security, even in the darkest moments. Resisting sinful desires and temptations is a major test, especially when they are easily accessible. Prophet Yusuf, was tempted by Zuleika, yet he chose to seek refuge in Allah, saying, "My Lord, prison is more beloved to me than that to which they invite me." Quran 12:33. Self-restraint, and fear of Allah protect a believer from falling into sin. Facing oppression, betrayal, or hostility with patience and forgiveness is one of the hardest trials. Prophet Muhammad PBUH faced severe persecution in Mecca, but forgave his enemies after the conquest of the city, saying, "No blame will there be upon you today. May Allah forgive you." Quran 12:92. Forgiveness and compassion elevate a believer in the eyes of Allah. Maintaining faith during times of doubt, especially in prolonged trials, is a true test of belief. Believers during the time of the prophets were tested to see if they would hold firm in their faith despite adversity. Surah Al-Baqarah reminds us Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. Quran 2:286. Faith in Allah's wisdom and mercy is the anchor during times of confusion or despair.